This is John Davidson, and I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you today. The purpose of this audio is to teach you, instruct you on this concept called the Productivity Multiplier. And the purpose of the Productivity Multiplier is to provide you a working framework, a simplification of where you can best invest your efforts and energies in your business. And I want to kind of describe it to you in the way show business looks. In show business, we have a front stage set of activities. So the performer is out on stage entertaining the audience. Now, using that as a metaphor in business, that's being out on the front stage, being ready for a sales appearance, delivering that transformative conversation in the sales encounter. Value definition, value detection, lining up a value proposition in the conversation. All of these elements are what we call front stage activities. And for most entrepreneurs, this is where they get their most energy, their most satisfaction. This is where they demonstrate their best work. It's when they go backstage, when they go back into the back office, when they go internal, that all sorts of things start to run amok. They get involved in activities that they don't do well. They get tired out by a bunch of detail work that they absolutely weren't made for. All the relational components of their strengths start to subside, and they go by the wayside, and instead they get substituted by activities that cause all kinds of mistakes, conflicts, breakdowns. Everyone suffers. Now, this shift going into the backstage is often forced. It's forced for very good reasons. It's forced because what happens, the marketplace is out there, the front stage, and the entrepreneur goes out there and he delights the marketplace, and as a result of being delighted by the entrepreneur, by finding great value in what the entrepreneur is offering, the entrepreneur brings back a check, and then he brings back another check, and thousands, even tens of thousands of times, he goes out and gets these checks, and as he gets better and better by not getting a check or getting a check, he goes to a very simple school. Every single transaction teaches him how to adjust his habits, adjust his ways, his style, his manner, his process, so that he can go out and achieve another size check. And that's really where all the fun and excitement of being an entrepreneur is we get awarded checks for delivering, demonstrating, and finding value. We mine for value, and then we deliver value. So over the course of a period of time, the entrepreneur gains experience by bringing in more and more checks, and he goes to that simple school. But every single check inadvertently has a little linchpin attached to it. It has a detail. It has another piece of complexity. It has another contract, another responsibility, another pull back into the back office, another reason to stay at the office, another email to answer, another piece of service to handle, until one day the entrepreneur finds himself completely in the background, completely in the back office, absent from the front stage. And this is when all sorts of problems and challenges begin to take place. The entrepreneur tries to go after things that are very important to him. He can't get to it. Tries to get at all the money-making activities on the front stage. He can't get to them. He tries to go after opportunities that are in his universe. He can't get to them. And all the thrill and fun of being an entrepreneur starts to fade because so many things are happening. It's just a tornado and whirlwind of so many things to do, reacting and responding and reacting and responding to so many fires that his domain has become like a snake pit. And instead of trying to go out and do something or drive the marker down the field or increase sales or increase the opportunity in the marketplace, make his mark, he is neutralized by the snakes biting him in the back office. So that's pretty much the traditional path of every successful entrepreneur. And this one challenge, this complexity trap that he falls into, is what all problems are pretty much a function of in his business, is how to get him out of the backstage. So there's this huge scare of, oh my gosh, it's so tragic if I get sucked in internally. However, if you really look at the body of work that is the best work of most entrepreneurs, it does involve a successful combination of back and front. So I'd like to talk to you about that so I can fit this all together. And it involves two kinds of freedom. Number one is the freedom from the stuff and freedom to create the value. So how do you get financially rewarded? Well, you create opportunity by first detecting, defining, and creating value and perpetuating that value. So the financial rewards are in finding out what other people value most and then providing that to them, and then staying a priority to that individual, that future of that individual. But in setting that up, we have to bring three things together that involve the front stage and the backstage. So let's talk about front stage first. We call these the sales of money, money sales. And these are the typical sales encounters that you have where you find an opportunity who has a capable future that you can embed yourself in, and you have a transformative conversation with that individual talking about their needs, their expectations, their goals, and you define a value proposition to that future to help resolve that challenge or increase the capability of that individual or company future. And if that person feels emotional enough about it and they see intellectually how you can help them, they see emotionally why it's important for you to help them, they will take the risk and take action with you within those risk considerations. So we call that a money sale. Now, the two other kinds of sales are more in the back. They're more internal, but they are sales. The other kind of sale is what we call a freedom sale. And a freedom sale means that you are helping another individual operate within the fullness of their potential by taking away something that is not your potential. In other words, every single person has a personal gift. It's a superior skill that they have a passion for. You have a superior skill that you have a passion for. And the idea here is to find out the things that you're not very good at, the things that you don't enjoy doing, the things that suck you dry of your energy, and find individuals that get energized by that very thing. They get so much personal payoff, they thank you for the opportunity to take care of it for you. And the way that it's done is exquisite. It's done unlike anybody else. It's completely unusual. You couldn't find it better from anybody else because they have a factory-made aptitude to do something that you don't do well. And so there's another sale that has to be made. There's an alignment between the way that you handle the front sale and the same way that you handle a back sale, that you're providing extraordinary value and putting someone in a position of leadership, helping them operate within a domain of self-efficacy where they can be extraordinarily effective without too much willpower, without too much artificial force and self-manipulation. They naturally get what you're asking them to do. And these could be strategic partners that are on the outside, in the relational component outside your business, or these could be on the internal customer side, your internal support staff, your back office staff. So there's an aligning aspect here of defining clearly what activities that you find extraordinary energy doing, what ones you don't, and then negotiating with other individuals that have an extraordinary amount of passion. And essentially what they find fun, you find work. And that's it. You take all the work and you pin it off on someone they find fun with doing. And that is called a freedom sale. So you free yourself up, and now you can focus your energy and time back on creating value and more money sales. The other kind of sale is called a capability sale. And you see this often when the entrepreneur has an opportunity to add a technology or automate something. In other words, make the lives easier of their clients by adding something else, adding another capability to the menu of services, adding another opportunity for the client to find ease or whatever it is that you're solving for them. You're adding another capability. So we have capability sales, you have freedom sales, and you have money sales. Now here's an interesting thought. These are all related. And if you take any two of them, it reinforces the third one. If you have better freedom sales, right, you get freed up and you get a better support structure, you get support solutions around you, and you have more capability sales, you reinforce money sales. If you have more money sales and capability sales, you have the ability to have more freedom sales because you have other capabilities for individuals to operate with, and you have more money to pay that human capital to support you. One of the unfair advantages of being an entrepreneur is that you can design your support structure however you want. You know, you're not in an environment that requires you to be doing a division of labor. You're in a talent preservation environment. Think of it like a show. Really being supported in a show means that the back band, the back singers, the arranger, the roadies, the crew that moves all the props, the lighting guy, the sound guy, there is one central focal point of that show, and that is to focus on great front stage performance. Now, in the 21st century, if you have bad front stage performance, if it's packaged poorly, you will pay for that. You will go to the penalty box. And if you have bad backstage performance, you may go out in the marketplace and make a big promise and make an offer, but people will pretty much sniff out quickly that it's all smoke and mirrors. Your offer really doesn't stand. There's no substance. So what this involves is a total integration from your habits to your processes between your back office and your front office. And how we do that is we do that through organizing your time appropriately. So on certain days, you're handling your backstage stuff, and on certain days, you're out doing your front stage stuff, but you don't combine them. There's a certain energy that goes into both. But now that you see freedom, the freedom sales piece and delegating, you see it as a sales piece, it adds a lot more importance to those activities where you're upgrading your team's capabilities, you're upgrading their ability to master a certain process, even creating a setting where they can innovate more and just come up with ideas to create capabilities and free you up, right? Or if there's something that you're doing in your domain, they watch your six, like they say in the Air Force. They watch your six like wingmen saying, that's something I find a lot of fun doing because we place a lot of value on what we're energized by in this company, and I'm going to operate within that area of energy, and so I'm going to take that off your back. Give me the monkey on that, because that's not a monkey to me. That doesn't bother me. That energizes me, and I want work like that. And can you imagine having a company that's calibrated this way, where individuals are organized around freeing you up so you have great front stage and you're out there creating enormous value and you're fully focused, fully present when you're doing that, and they're fully operating in where their domain of self-efficacy is because they're handling all those elements, and it totally frees you up for productivity. Now you have this capability piece, and maybe you have new and different ways of bringing capabilities and solutions to your current audiences. Or maybe you're adding on to one of your current capabilities and galvanizing it even better so it's bigger, better, faster, stronger. Whatever it is, you're optimizing your race car, you're putting a new pipe on it, you're upgrading something so you can go back to your audience on the front stage, and through your money sale, you can bring something that has even more value, either with your current relationships or your new potential relationships. So to sum it all up, there's an integration here that I'm trying to emphasize. If you look at the lay of the land, the habits are the neutral point between front office and back office, external and internal. Insofar that whatever you demonstrate in leadership and value creation, you also operate that way to your internal customer as well. Value creation involves putting someone into the fullness of their potential, helping them operate within a domain where they don't find work. They get energized by it. That's a great way to create value for people on the inside. And so you're always looking to line up specific ways to hand off the baton to individuals to help them be geniuses at what they do. Natural geniuses. Not because you constantly clean up their weaknesses. You find out what they're great at doing and what they love doing, and you help them align their work to what that is. Now, that's just extraordinary performance capability. Okay, so we're integrating front and back. Your habits are the neutral point, because if the way you operate in a sales opportunity is different than the way you operate as a leader, we've got a breakdown. They can't be two different people. You are a value definer, creator in both environments.